Hi chess friends, this is the FIDE master Alessandro Santagati, and this is a new video about how to play against the Scandinavian Defense, in which we will follow attention about the variation Queen d6, so e4, d5, e takes, queen takes, knight c3, queen d6. My tip is play immediately d4, and after d4, black can do knight f6, or c6 for example. There's also playable g6, but in this video we'll pay attention about c6. This variation is not so common, but after c6 my tip is play immediately knight e4. Why this? Because the knight can attack the queen, so you can improve the knight. At the same time, black has to find the square for his queen. And okay, if black will play something like queen d8, it's not a big problem because you can simply go with knight f3, develop the pieces, bishop can go also to c4, and the white is fine. If queen will go to g6 for example, you can simply move the knight on g3, then you can play bishop d3, and again the white development is very easy. Probably for all the black moves, white is without problem. We can have some problem only with queen e6, because queen e6 can pin the knight, so now we must pay attention. For example, if you play bishop d3, there is a 5 and you lose material because you lose the knight, so we must pay attention about that, for example. And in this case, we can simply play without problem queen e2. Now the knight is not pinned. If, for example, f5, it's not a big problem. We can play knight g5. Maybe black can trade. We can take with the bishop or with the knight. And now the pawn structure is bad because the pawn e7 is backward and the white is slightly better now. So it's not a big problem like this. If, for example, knight f6, in this case, I think it's not so good trade because black can take with the pawn, and if you take, black can take is with the bishop, is with the pawn, and black now I think is fine. So I don't like it. So after knight f6, we must see another interesting and important move for white. In this case, my tip is play f3, because the idea is that if black will take, you can simply take with the pawn, and now white has a strong center, so now white is better. And if black doesn't take, black should develop his pieces. What black can do to do that? My idea is that black can try to do something like g6 to develop the bishop on g7, but in this case g3 is very strong. With this nice idea, bishop h3. So for example, if black didn't see it, bishop g7, now bishop h3 is winning. Queen is under attack. If we play queen somewhere, I can take the bishop, and white has a decisive advantage. So g3 is very nice, bishop g7 is wrong, so what black should play? If black play knight b7, again bishop h3 is strong, and after queen d5, I can also play c4, and I take space, I take tempos, and the white is much better, I think. If knight takes e4, and I think it's the main variation now, can take with the pawn, now white has a strong center. If bishop g7, now bishop h3 is strong, and f5 is forced. Knight f3, because the pawn is pinned for this time, so it's not a big problem for white this. Castle kingside, now knight g5. The queen is under attack, so probably black should play queen d6. Now the pawn d4 is under attack, but we can simply defend it with c3, and after h6, you can simply go with bishop f4, queen d7, queen d8 is wrong because if queen d8, I can play queen c4, and after knight f7, black should sacrifice the exchange, and white is much better. So queen d7 is forced, now I can play simply knight f3, and the white has a better position. Black has a lot of weaknesses, g5 is not so good because it can just take it, rook takes, and bishop takes f5 with a good advantage for white. So yeah, no good moves for black. I don't know if black try to develop the pieces, maybe king h7. I can simply take the pawn, so it's not so good. If no, it's not possible to take, so maybe e6 can be another option. But in this case, knight e5, and this knight is very strong because if black will take, I take also with the bishop or with the pawn, but I think with the bishop is slightly better. And then this castle is very weak because no defenders can help black king. So white is a very good position, white is very strong. So my tip is play this variation with knight e4 immediately, and if queen e6, play f3, queen e2, and then f3. Because maybe there are also other options, but not so good, because after f3 and g6, g3, no, I don't see good moves for black. The queen is blocked here because if you move the queen away, there is this move and then win the knight. So bishop, so knight takes e4 now seems forced. And yeah, white is strong center. White is a good position, so this position is very good. Okay, for this video is all. If you have questions, feel free to comment below in this video. And see you for the next video about this variation with the queen d6. So in the next video, we will see the variation with the knight f6, and we will follow the attention about that. Thanks for the attention, and see you for the next. Bye. Remember to follow me on social networks and share the video with your friends. Thanks.